Hello there, this is DBT, and this is Art of Rooms. And alright, let's continue talking about Asphalt 9 on the Nintendo Switch because there's news, and oh boy, we definitely need to talk about them. You see it on the title, you saw it on the thumbnail. Asphalt Legends Unite, the big update to Asphalt 9 is not coming in the Nintendo Switch. Yet. Alright, I did go a little bit clickbaity over there with the title in the video. Yeah, it's not cancelled, it's just delayed. And that is a bit unfortunate, but if you have been playing this version of the game for a while, you've seen how the updates happen, you may have seen this coming, to be completely honest. But still, it's a bit unfortunate to see it happening in real time. But let's discuss it. Earlier today, in the official Discord server for Asphalt 9, this message was posted. I'm gonna read it to you, though I probably will do it terribly, I'm sorry about that. But I don't know what it's about the wording on this message that I cannot read it clearly, but I'll try. It says, due to unforeseen circumstances, the Nintendo Switch version of the game will not be available for our planned release date. We understand this may come as a blow for our community as it has been for us, and we reassure you that releasing the Nintendo Switch version is a top priority for the Asphalt team. As we work towards finalizing the Nintendo Switch version, we'll be working closely with Nintendo and keep you updated as soon as we have confirmed ETA for the release. In the meantime, Nintendo Switch players will continue to access Asphalt 9 Legends version of the game, and we'll be extending several of our current live events, including multiplayer, special events, and limited events for the duration of the transition. Once again, we deeply apologize for this delay as it's not the ideal outcome for anyone involved. But we will be working tirelessly to get our Nintendo fans into the game as soon as possible. We'll be announcing the new live date as soon as it can be confirmed. So what does all of that mean? Well, it's not going to release tomorrow. By the time I'm releasing this video that you're watching right now, tomorrow we should already have Asphalt Legends Unite. But we have just been told that, well, that's not gonna happen. And like I said earlier, that is unfortunately kind of something that a lot of us saw coming. Like I said, it's unfortunate, but as a wise person once said, it is what it is. And I think it's worth mentioning that there has been a bit of a clarification on why this happened. Now, we could theorize all we want, but Motley has been, or was very active earlier today, responding or replying to the community, to the Nintendo Switch community on their Discord server, which by the way had been abandoned for a very long time. We really felt like nobody was paying attention to what was happening over there. At least this time Motley did drop by and was providing some answers. And when he was asked like, hey, so why is this happening? Is the problem again with Nintendo delaying the approval and whatnot? And actually Motley did say very emphatically that the problem or the issue this time is not on Nintendo sides per se. And here is the message, one of the messages that he posted. We have never said that it is Nintendo's fault. The delay is on us, referring to GameLoft. We did not pass certification, and until we have a build that can pass Nintendo's standards, we will not be able to release on that platform. Now, if you really want to see the entire conversation, you can go into the Discord server, go into the Switch channel and search for Motley's post. He was active for quite a few hours talking about this whole situation, and he provided some context as to the problems and unexpected things that were happening with the update of the game. And one thing that I did mention before that I thought it was going to be a problem, that was the firing of the Clutch team. And now I have changed to doing some actual races. The previous two that you saw were just pre-recorded races for me to show you some of the information on the posts and whatnot. Now I switch back to actually playing because that's what I do. I play and I talk. But alright, so like I was saying, this whole situation with the Clutch team, if you don't know what the Clutch team is, that is the team that had been working on the Nintendo Switch version of the game for years. And that team was, well, basically fired or laid off, if we want to say it in a nice way. They were fired in June, at the end of June. So I already made a video talking about this whole situation with the Clutch team. Link is appearing in the top right if you want to watch it. And I did say in that video precisely how I thought that it was a really bad idea for something like that to happen, where the team that has been working on this version of the game, that it's knowledgeable about the whole thing and the requirements by Nintendo and whatnot and all of that stuff, and for that team to go away right before Asphalt Legends Unite dropped in the console. I thought that was an absolutely horrendous idea. And well, turns out that I was correct in that case. And by the way, don't mind me playing with some terrible cars. I'm just having some fun because a lot of people are farming right now, so I'm just enjoying driving cars that I would normally never drive. But yeah, so even Motley did say something about that, like, yeah, unfortunately, with the Clutch team no longer working on this, because the Clutch team is no longer a thing, and sorry if I'm mispronouncing Clutch, that's how I read it, so there you go. Without them working on this, well, it's a lot of stuff that the team that is working currently in Asphalt 9, now it's a lot more stuff that they need to worry about. And even though he didn't go as deep as to explain what was happening in terms of, oh, this and that and all of the versions of the game, from what I understand, basically the other versions of the game, meaning for Android, iOS, PlayStation, Xbox, all of that stuff, all of that is going a lot more smoothly, but it's the Nintendo Switch version the one that requires the most changes because, oh, sorry, but I didn't mean to knock you down. Because of all of the, what would you say, all how they have to adapt the game to work over here. But anyway, and unsurprisingly, a lot of people are upset about this. I mean, who could be amazed at that, right? People were super excited about this whole thing, and now we know that it's not coming just yet. Now, Motley did say that there's no ETA, what is it? Estimated time of arrival. I think that's what the letters mean. Anyway, yeah, so there's no ETA at the moment, so we don't know when it's going to be coming. But of course, here on the Switch, we've had a horrible experience with updates not dropping. Specifically in the last patch, the drop of the last patch, the previous one, where it was delayed by months, literal months of delay. So we're in a certain way scarred with that experience, and people were asking Motley like, oh, is it going to be again 2 months before you guys update and all of that? Motley did say that it's not expected to go that far, and in fact it does sound like they're going to be working pretty hard to get this working as soon as possible. And to be fair, it makes sense because the whole idea is to have the cross multiplayer and all of that, you know, whatnot. So, and making a huge deal about it and selling the physical edition, you know, all of that stuff that is coming with Asphalt Legends Unite, it makes sense that they want to get it out as soon as possible. And supposedly now it's basically all hands on deck in getting this version working. But people were wondering, okay, can we at least, are we gonna at least get something in the meantime while this is happening? Like, can we please get new events? Because I really haven't talked about this in previous videos that I've done here on the Switch, but it's kind of barren right now on the Switch version of the game. There's very little happening. There's a couple of special events going on, but in terms of daily events or anything else, there's nothing. There's multiplayer, there's a couple of special events, and that is that. So people were like, hey, can we at least get, I don't know, a new car hunt? Because for the entire last week we had no car hunt, so no way to grind for credits or anything. And the answer is no, we won't. I know. But there seems to be a good reason for it. So like I was saying, we got these two special events, right? The Apollo Evo, the Agera RS. Actually made recently a video spending a bunch of tokens for my Agera RS. Link is appearing in the top right if you want to watch it. But if we look at the special, the daily events, what do we have? The bare minimum. In fact, we barely only got this one, the Elite Class B event. But the rest, yeah, we got nothing going on. Like I said, we have been without a car hunt, and we could do with a car hunt right now, you know, things like that. But the answer that we got from Motley was that extending existing events is easy. That's why these events that should be ending, I think today they should have ended, or maybe tomorrow. Now they both have been extended by 5 or so days. Then multiplayer was also extended. MP1 was extended by 4 days or so. And Credit Rush wasn't. So this one is probably just gonna time out, and there will not be MP2. But what Motley was saying is that extending what's already going, it's easy. But adding new events, even if it's just a car hunt or if it's another special event or if it's whatever, it's not as easy. And that would mess up also with how they're doing things in terms of, you know, assigning manpower to doing additional stuff that is not as crucial to the game. And I know people, like I said, people are upset because it's like, what am I supposed to be doing now? There's nothing to do over here, my daily events, my tickets and all of that. I understand, and I'm sure they understand as well. But they're like, we really need to focus every single bit of manpower into getting this version fixed to release it as quickly as possible. When I say this version, I mean Asphalt Legends Unite. And there's been a bunch of other questions in terms of, yeah, but what's gonna happen if it's gonna be delayed? We're gonna miss out on a bunch of things and the welcome rewards and all of that. Motley again clarified that at least when it comes to the welcome rewards, they're still going to be given to us Switch players whenever we get to actually update the game and whatnot. Now, here's my thought. So long as it doesn't take a couple of months and that entire window of time is gone. But I really don't think that's going to be the case because, like I said, here on the Switch version, we kind of had been abandoned for a couple of months. But the fact that Monthly just showed up and is like, okay, I'm going to talk straight up with you guys because we want to, you know. Basically, what I read between the lines is like, yeah, we have been away. We have not been paying enough attention to the Switch people over here in Discord, so we're trying to change that. So hopefully that's a sign of goodwill. But yeah, I do believe that they're gonna listen. He has no ETA. I can only venture to guess, but I would imagine that, I don't know, maybe within a week, 2 weeks tops, we should be there. Now that is still sound terrible, but it's like, wait a minute, everybody's enjoying Asphalt Legends United. We're gonna be waiting for that amount of time. Unfortunate as it is, that could be the case. But again, they extend some events by 5 days or so. So who knows? Maybe that is the time that they're thinking like, yeah, it should be within a few days that we get it working. Especially because once they release the global version of Asphalt Legends Unite, they can rest of that for a little bit, so long as there's not massive issues over there also. They can rest from that a little bit and focus on the Switch and be like, okay, we need to get this out the door ASAP. So that's what I think that, in my personal opinion, with absolutely no basis to say that this is going how it's going to be, I'm willing to say that probably within a few days we should be there, hopefully. And honestly, I think it makes sense that they want to get this working as soon as possible, because otherwise they're going to start falling behind schedule. Because imagine if they delay it by 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks of whatever events that happened on the global version. In global, I mean everywhere else except here on the Switch. Basically, we will be behind by those 2 weeks, and guess what? It's gonna start piling up like, oh, we're behind this. This version of the game is already behind quite a bit because there's a ton of cars that we never got. And if those cars are needed for events on Asphalt Unite, Asphalt Legends Unite, we're still behind. And then if we fall further behind because what was supposed to be happening at the same time now is delayed by a few weeks and whatnot, it really could get out of hand even more than it has already. So I don't think that's something that they're really looking forward to dealing with. So yeah, because of all of that, I do expect, but really hope that they're gonna be taking care of this really quickly, as soon as humanly possible. And look, I do understand people being upset about it. To be fair, I am also a little bit upset about it because I made my preparations and everything to have time to do videos almost in real time with this type of things and whatnot. That's why I'm reporting on this as soon as I could. So I did make a bunch of space in order to cover what's happening over here, and it's like, well, it's delayed, so RIP. I mean, I'm still going to be making videos on Unite on the global version, don't worry about that, but at least here on the Switch, it is indeed very disappointing. But all we can do at this point is wait and hope for the best, sad as that may sound. And there was also the topic of compensation was very, very lightly touched. Apparently there might be some compensation given the delays and whatnot, and also consideration on the things that we are missing out on. Like I said, we're super behind schedule here on the Switch. But oh well, what can we do? At the very least, we have multiplayer still going, we can still play, which actually would allow me to make a couple more videos to release at some other point in the future, driving some cars that I definitely wanted to make some videos on, because they're the type of cars that really benefit, or rather cars that generally speaking in global version are really bad, but over here they're pretty decent because of the gasless drift helping them quite a bit. So at least that opens the window for me to do some more videos like that. Like I said, having multiplayer in general just means that players at least have something to do, to have some fun. But like I said, with no car hunts and all of that, a lot of people feel like, yep, I got nothing to do in the game, which is kind of weird, but hey, you know, this game is weird overall when it comes to the activities. So yeah, let's just play some multiplayer for the meantime and hope for the best. Stay tuned. Like I said, anytime that there's some news, I'm going to try to cover them as quickly, as soon as possible. But also stay tuned to the official Discord server, because over there is where I heard of all of this information. And well, it's always worth watching what is happening if there's more updates and whatnot. Because man, I wanted Asphalt Legends Unite. We don't have Asphalt Legends Unite. All I can hope for is that in these changes that they need to do, listen, I got zero evidence about this, but I in my mind, I'm thinking like, did by any chance, because you know that I've said a bunch of times that I think offline is gonna be lost in Asphalt Legends Unite here on the Switch. Maybe they did want to remove it. Maybe they removed it, and Nintendo was like, wait, you removed a feature? That can't be. You need to put it back in. Again, I'm just guessing. All right, I have absolutely zero proof about it. I just hope that we still get to keep offline mode and quick race here, because to me that is such an important deal in this version of the game. That is why it's my favorite version of the game. But we'll see, we'll see. Again, if things go right tomorrow, we will have Asphalt Legends Unite going out in everywhere else, in all the other consoles, all the other platforms. And if that is the case, I sure will be making some videos about it. I will be doing a live stream on that as well, so stay tuned here. Also on my Twitch channel, I'll be streaming. So if you want to watch what's happening, I'm going to be testing multiplayer. Whatever I can test once Asphalt Legends Unite release, I'll be testing it. So stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see what's going on. But that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.